Here we are on day 2 of the Best of Europe tour, Berlin, Germany. And here's our 61-seat Fanini Group charter bus that we'll be enjoying on our beautiful 17-day Best of Europe tour to Germany, Switzerland, Austria, and Italy. Welcome to the Comfort Hotel Lichtenberg in Lichtenberg, Berlin, Germany. This is the hotel we stayed at the Hotel Lichtenberg. As you can see, it's quite spacious. Television set. It was a wonderful night's sleep. And our first night in Berlin. As you can see, they even have the water out for us. And a very beautiful bathroom area too. It felt good to get a good night's sleep and a good shower after that first night's travel to Germany. Here at the Comfort Hotel Lichtenberg, we can enjoy a fun night of bowling as well as partying with friends and family. There's Jerry getting some breakfast at the Comfort Hotel Lichtenberg. Wonderful. Some of our Best of Europe travelers. Here we are in Berlin, Germany, looking out at the East Side Gallery. This is the longest existing part of the Berlin Wall. As you can see, there's decoration on the western side. On the eastern side was plain, because on the eastern side you would have been shot had you gotten that close. This is our Best of Europe Tour 2018. Look at these great people here, enjoying a great time. We're on our way to the Stasi Museum, which is a historic museum, to see what life was like here in Eastern Germany before the wall came down. Here we are coming into the Stasi Museum in Berlin. This is the equivalent of the East German CIA. This is where individuals who were not loyal to the state were sent to be interrogated and put into prison if they were found not to be loyal communists. This is also a scene from the Lives of Others movie. The leader of East Germany was Erich Honecker at the time. Over 300,000 citizens were members of the secret police, turning in neighbors, teachers, anyone deemed not loyal to the state of the East German Socialist Republic. All types of interrogation techniques were used here at this facility.
This introduction. Historian from the Netherlands, actually, mainly for the Dutch tours here. So here you can see an overview of the building. It's the headquarters of the Ministry for State Security. In German, it's Ministerium für Staatssicherheit, and in short, it's Stasi, the abbreviation, so I will say Stasi all the time. The Stasi was founded in 1950, a couple of months after the foundation of the GDR. The GDR was founded in 1949, October. It means the German Democratic Republic. But it was a pretty weird name, was not democratic at all. So in the GDR, there was just one powerful party. It was called the Socialist Unity Party, and this party decided everything. And the song of the party was, Die Partei hat immer recht, the party has always right. So if you did do what the party said, okay, But if you had other views, other opinions, there would be consequences. And they even decided who was allowed to go to university or to college, who was allowed to go on holiday, where to. So they really interfered in people's personal life. It was a socialist country, the GDR. Non-socialist countries, US, UK, West Germany, they were the class enemy. So if you had read books from the West, you were already suspicious. If you watched Western television, it was suspicious. And even in a classroom, a teacher had just to find out who of the parents actually watched Western television. They asked the children to draw a clock, for example, because behind the presenter of the Western news, there was a clock with lines, stripes, but behind the anchor of the GDR news, there was a clock with dots. So the children who draw a clock with the lines, they knew, those parents watch probably Western television, we write it down. And people who had tried to go to the West, had to escape, would be arrested and sent to jail. No freedom of speech, no freedom of travel. And this Socialist Unity Party knew they weren't legitimized by the people, because people tried to escape, it's one of the examples. And that's why they founded this Ministry for State Security. The secret service of the GDR. I say secret service, secret police, but they did arrests, they did prosecutions, they influenced education, they did border checks. And so they were even more than a secret service. This is the headquarters. In the 80s, 8,000 people worked here. And there were 200 local offices, more than 200. Every district capital of the GDR had an office. So they were spread through the country. And their goal was to protect the power of the party and to find out who in the GDR was the enemy or could be the enemy, who thought differently than the party, and those people should be taken away, YouTube or something. Oh. Then I feel like, woo. So we're here in the room with a little bit information about the unofficial collaborators and people who secretly spied for the Stasi. In here I will tell as well a little bit about the official employees, so you have an overview, but that's in the other room. So in 1950, when the Stasi was founded, around 3,000 people worked for the Stasi. But in 1989, the last year the Stasi existed, around 300,000 people worked for the Stasi. And 91 of them were official employees, officers, etc. And around 181,000 were unofficial collaborators. And of those unofficial collaborators, you never knew who it was. It could be a friend, a colleague. I work in a former Stasi prison as well. And one of my colleagues found out in the 90s, after the unification, when the files became public, that she was actually betrayed by her own husband. And she was a civil rights activist, so she wanted to have free elections, freedom of speech, as she believed in socialism, but not when it was forced upon them, the one party. She was arrested, and during the interrogations, the interrogator knew even her favorite kind of tea, and that's pretty terrifying. Then you know they know everything about me. And after, when she found out in the 90s, they got divorced. But I have also colleagues who were betrayed by their own brother or sister, and that they say, okay, we have to go on with our lives. It was part of the system. And there are still, of course, people who don't want to know, who don't want to read their file, because you never know what's in it. So those official employees, and they were recruited, and it was pretty, you should be like choosing one. It was pretty important that you would protect the party with your life, that you would be pretty loyal. And before they hired somebody, there was a lot of research, talks with family, with the surroundings. They had to find out what parents were doing, brothers, sisters, if they had certain characteristics, if they're aggressive or they're friendly. So a lot of work was a special department to do that. And when you worked for the Stasi, as I said before, salaries were a little bit higher. You got better apartments most of the time with a central heating system, your own bathroom, a car you got more quickly, or a phone, as a reward in a way. And they wanted to make people feel special, that they protected peace in their country and in Europe, that they fought for socialism. And in the beginning, people also believed perhaps in socialism, especially after the Second World War. But more and more, people did it as well for the material rewards, so to say. And in the 80s, when they needed so many people, 91,000, then they even started to recruit in school. That there were propaganda posters to make it look like that it was, pretty good to work for the Stasi, to prevent the socialism and peace in Europe.
How did that compare to other countries that were communist, like Russia, Poland?
In Russia, for example, in the Soviet Union, there were much more secret agents of the KGB, but relatively less. So in Soviet Union, it was one secret agent on 4,500 civilians. But in the GDR, one secret agent on 180.
Oh, really?
So it's one of the biggest secret services in history. It's really, 70 million people lived in the GDR, and it shows that people didn't stand behind this party. Otherwise, you don't need to have such a big secret service, and you don't need to protect your border that's severe, and even build a wall around West Berlin, which still belonged to the West, because still 2.5 million already had escaped from East to West Berlin. So that's why they said, we build a protection wall against the fascist, capitalist West, to protect your people. So that's, was even a crime I heard when you said Berlin Wall, because it was, of course, a protection wall.
What was it called?
The anti-fascistic protection wall. So just one example of an unofficial employee to give you an idea, and then we go upstairs. This guy was active in the punk scene.
Music.
The music scene, yes. And punk from the UK. If you look like this, it already showed the party said that you were a threat. So punks belong more or less to potential enemies of the state. And because of antisocial behavior, he was in jail. The Stasi visited him and they said, we will release you if you work with us. And then you can play with your band, because of course all musicians, artists had to have permission of the Stasi to play. And he had diabetic. They said to him, if you don't work with us, you won't get your medicine anymore. So he agreed. He wrote reports about people of the music, other people of the music scene, other members of his band. Again, they found out in the 90s. Then they found out as well that another member of this band cooperated with the Stasi as well. And they did that a lot so they could check each other. So, and actually they were a couple. So they shared the bed, but they didn't say anything about the Stasi. But it shows sometimes people wanted to work with the Stasi. Maybe they believed in socialism. Sometimes it was for a career, money, it was adventurous. But sometimes people were also that they put pressure on people, that they were blackmailed. And that makes it, it's hard to say what you would have done when you had lived in the GDR.
So people never trusted pretty much anybody, really?
No, there was a lot of distrust. And of course, if I worked for the Stasi as an unofficial collaborator, and we had a band. I would try to convince you that you were actually the unofficial collaborator. And suddenly he has a car pretty soon, and sometimes he's going away and he writes down things. It's a little bit weird.
Isn't it true under East German system they had to wait like 15 years to get a permission to get a car, shareable, or an apartment, or being a good party member?
Yeah, up to 15 years for a car. And if you went to a housing agency, I want to have my own apartment because you lived for 20, you lived at your parents' place. What kind of apartment you got depended, among others, if you were a member of the party, if you worked for the Stasi, but also things like if you were married. Married couples became an apartment sooner.
Mm-hmm. And if you had children, you were rewarded if you had children for the state.
Without Zinsen, don't know the
taxes?
Without that you pay like 2% extra afterwards.
Yes.
So,
There were benefits.
Yeah, exactly. So there was, it was a socialist country, so people said, the government said, we provide all the basic needs, but of course, there were conditions. Food was cheap as well, everybody had a job, but if you didn't work, it was a crime of antisocial behavior as well.
And if you had goals of going to the university, if you were not a good party member, maybe some of those opportunities disappeared.
Yeah, and if you have, for you guys, for the pupils here, if you weren't a member, for example, of the Socialist Youth Organization, but your parents said, okay, you can go to the Youth Church Organization, you couldn't go to university. And if there were school trips, so like this, you go to a museum together, you should stay in your classroom. And if you're 13 or 14, that's horrible, of course, that you are the outcast or the outsider. So it was not obligatory to be a member of the Socialist Youth Organization. They said, have free choice, but... And it's as well with these unofficial collaborators, you could say no. And one third of the people said no, 2/3 said yes, but again, that there could be consequences, so that's pretty difficult. Nobody is punished of those unofficial collaborators because of those reasons, and you can see it's blurred.
How many files did they say were here at the Stasi? Miles long, right?
Yeah, 111 kilometers.
111 kilometers. So nearly half that would be miles. So it's 0.6 kilometers to a mile. So literally 50 to 60 miles of files on people who were considered under investigation or not loyal to the state. Think about that. That's a paper trail.
And not because I will skip the part with the enemy, but you should think that those were people trying to go to the West because family lived there. Who wrote in the eyes of the Stasi critical music. People who protested. 1953 was a big protest because they wanted to have those free elections. Freedom of speech, things we all want to have. People who helped other people to escape. But also punks or hitchhikers, because hitchhikers were hippies. Flower power from the USA was already suspicious. So that's in the eyes of the Stasi and the party, those people were negative, hostile attitudes they had.
So after reunification, did a lot of those people leave Germany?
Not a lot happened to them. So with the unofficial
They blended in with the rest.
In a way, it was not allowed to be to have public functions or in government, but a lot of the evidence was actually burned.
I was going to say, I thought they destroyed all of the files.
At least 25% is now the estimation, especially they did a lot of illegal stuff.
So when the wall came down, there was an active movement to destroy the files that they had on people because they knew that might eventually come out.
Yeah, and in the agreement of the unification, they agreed that they would be put on trial according to the GDR law. And according to this law, it was a crime, anti-state annexation or illegal border crossing. So they said we did our job according to the law. and lack of manpower, lack of money. So some went to jail, but not a lot. Some got a fine, and because of that, it's pretty important that museums like this are there, or a memorial like Hohenschönhausen. And of course, it's only not even 30 years ago, so it's still very, very. I think it's.
Would you say the movie Lives of Others, Das Leben anderen, is pretty close and accurate in its description?
Yes, it got also good critics, but as some of my colleagues from the prison, they say it's pretty good, but at the end, I don't want to spoil what happens in the end.
Yes, sure.
But for people who know, that they say what happens in the end, that one of the baddies had. But I think.
What do you mean? One of the bad people did
not
what?
Not the bad. He's not. He
He
turns
didn't.
out to be a good guy, and they say, but
He may not have ever been a good guy. He may have stayed in the old system. And in the movie Lives of Others, he becomes a post carrier and changes his way, or feels guilt about how he lived his life. But you're saying that may not have happened.
Yeah, that people have, but that's logical, I think, if you've been in prison because of it, if you don't want to see that somebody, so that's, but
Wait,
still,
which
it's
prison
pretty,
did you say? What is
Hohenschönhausen, it's a former political prison.
For people who protested against the.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And, it's a memorial, so it's for political prisoners in general as well.
How did you work in it?
They're looking for Dutch historians a lot because there are a lot of Dutch schools. And former prisoners give tours there as well, but mainly German. So for the other languages, so Dutch or English, and they have more and more historians. And it's, I think, and you will, so Erich Mielke, he was the minister since 1957 till the end of 89. And he was already 82 back then. And in the GDR, actually, the leadership at the end were mainly older men who didn't want to reform. Although Gorbachev even wanted to have these reforms, more openness, but they said in the GDR, if the neighbors changed their wallpaper, why should we do the same? So they didn't do anything actually. And Erich Mielke, he was pretty small, had a lot of power. He wanted to have order, he wanted to have discipline. People wanted to, they didn't want to mess with him, so to say. And so even maybe you saw near the kitchen a small drawing, and it was a note of his secretary, how Erich Mielke wanted to have his breakfast every day. Where the eggs should be, and the plate, and the knives, how many minutes it should be boiled. And she worked for 20 years for him, and she still had this note. And she was actually married to his driver in the opposite room. And there's a radio with 3 stickers, 3 white stickers, so people knew where the GDR channels were. And so you not by accident would have like the Western.
Talk about the East German TV. How is it different than West German TV? It was basically a propaganda.
Yeah, and people people knew what was going on, most of the people in West Germany, because they just put their antennas towards the west. Television was pretty expensive, but more and more people got it. And in the 60s, that's 61, they even made in some parts of the GDR pictures of houses where people had the antenna towards the west. And so people, you're being watched. But in this case, they write down who's going to a youth church meeting. And we hope that when we are taking on video, they only watch it if there's a crime or something. But back then, you knew everything could be used against you. And in this case, it's pretty obvious, I think, the birdcage. But sometimes it wasn't enough.
A birdhouse with a camera.
Yeah.
Wow.
But sometimes it even didn't work, but it was enough that people thought Big Brother was watching them.
And that's absolutely a great point about Big Brother watching, because that's how the citizens felt.
Yeah.
And even many of the school buildings, rooms, offices had a picture of Erich Honecker in them present as a way of intimidation. And in the United States, we don't have pictures in all of our offices. It gives that impression with Erich Honecker, the leader of East Germany, that somebody's watching you.
Exactly. They did phone tapping as well. In 1989 in East Berlin, they could tap like 20,000 phones at the same time.
Yeah.
And this case is maybe interesting because we'll see how it worked a little bit. That sometimes people were tricked in it. And it is this case about a man going to church. And this was suspicious, as I said before, but it was not enough to arrest.
This is a movable jail cell that people would arrest people. The Stasi would arrest people and put people in this van. Take a look at the jail cell inside this van. They had 5 jail cells that they put people in. Here's the Best of Europe travelers getting their meal at the Anna restaurant here in Berlin. Awesome. We're gonna get some pork schnitzel, vegetables. We got a strawberry mousse. I've never seen a strawberry mousse, but we're gonna eat one today.
Wunderbar.
Here are some of the delicious desserts you can get at the Anna Cafe restaurant here in Berlin at Alexanderplatz. These are some of the nice German people coming for lunch. Beautiful restaurant on the first day of our trip. There is Galeria Kaufhof, where we had our lunch at the Diana restaurant on the Best of Europe tour on the 4th floor, overlooking Alexanderplatz. Alexanderplatz is the downtown hub of former East Berlin. There's Alexanderplatz. And there's Joe, Dwayne, Steve, and Kelly after a good meal.
Hello.
There you go. So Europe travelers, just after seeing the Reichstag, look at these wonderful people. We're heading now to the Brandenburg Gate. All these wonderful Best of Europe travelers having a great time in Berlin.
Hey, yo.
Very good. Here we are at the Jewish Memorial here in Berlin. Each block is symbolic of one life that was lost during World War II. All different shaped blocks, symbolic of all different types of people. There's Tom with his Wiener Schnitzel, pommes fries, and the beef broth, and the strawberry mousse. Looks good, Tom.
I want to buy a drink, so I can.
The water you get at the table, they'll serve it to you.
If I want to buy a drink.
You can do that, it's extra. We got the beef broth soup, the fries, the schnitzel, strawberry mousse. Here is the Schlosskirche, the castle church, where Martin Luther, back in the 1500s, nailed the 95 suggestions, 95 theses to make recommendations of improvements to the Catholic Church. Today, 92 of those suggestions have been adopted, and we are enjoying a wonderful day in Wittenberg, Germany, on the Best of Europe tour. Here we are at Auerbach's Keller in Leipzig, Germany, enjoying a delicious meal at Auerbach's Keller, world famous, even included in the novel Faust, written by Goethe, who often dined here. Goethe said, if you haven't been to Auerbach's Keller, you haven't seen Leipzig. Here we are at the Thomaskirche in Leipzig, Germany. This is where in 1989, massive 70,000 person protests against the socialist regime of East Germany took place. But it all started at this church, at the Thomaskirche, where people had the opportunity to speak freely inside the church about their differences with the current government. The church was the one safe place people could leave note cards asking for prayer for family members and others who have been oppressed under the socialist regime. From this time grew every Monday protests, eventually leading to 70,000 protests every Monday, and then throughout all of Germany. And then in 1989, the socialist system of East Republic of Germany came tumbling down, and so did the Berlin Wall. Here is Tom Kolsky on the Best of Europe Tour 2018 at the Johannes Sebastian Bach Church in Leipzig, Germany. Tom, what does Johannes Sebastian Bach mean to you?
You better get close. He's God. He's number one of the Holy Trinity. Bach the Father, Mozart the Son, Beethoven the Holy Ghost, and they all speak German.
That means a lot. I'm so glad that you had this opportunity. Fantastic, Tom. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. And
Coming to you live from the Volker Schlachtdank Mall in Leipzig, Germany. The Volker Schlachtdank Mall is a monument to honor the Germans who fought and defeated Napoleon in the Napoleonic Wars. During East German times, hundreds of East German young people would climb to the top of this monument and commit suicide because they gave up hope because of the oppressive socialist government of East Germany. Today, we look at the Volker Schlachtdank Mall as a monument to help us remember the past, learn from it, and become better people. Coming to you live from Nuremberg, Germany, home of Lebkuchen, gingerbread, as well as the Christkindlmarkt, the German Christmas market. This is a beautiful view outside our castle window in Nuremberg. Here we are at the Jugendherberge Castle in Nuremberg, Germany, as the kids are getting their breakfast. Wonderful, delicious rolls and cheeses and cold cuts, cereal, eggs, jelly, all the various desserts and treats that you can enjoy here at the Nuremberg Castle. Last night we had dinner here, had a wonderful time. And here's a little bit of a picture of the dining facility. Downtown Nuremberg, Germany. This is a Fußgängerzone, German walkway for pedestrians, only pedestrians, filled with wonderful shops and cafes and restaurants and beautiful churches. A German wooden framed house known as a Fachwerk house here in Nuremberg, Germany. Here we are in Nuremberg, Germany on the Best of Europe Tour 2018. Nuremberg, Germany dates back to the Roman times. It was the Roman Empire that built some of these fortress walls that exist today. Nuremberg is a world famous city for its Lebkuchen, marzipan, and other wonderful delights. Here we are at the Lorenzkirche, the Lorenzkirche in downtown Nuremberg, Germany, with its Gothic architecture. Welcome to the Best of Europe Tour 2018 from Nuremberg, Germany. Here the Best of Europe travelers got to enjoy staying in a castle, the Jugendherberge Castle here in Nuremberg. This is a beautiful view from our castle window. The students and parents enjoyed a wonderful day in Nuremberg of shopping and sightseeing. We even enjoyed a little bit of World Cup action yesterday between Germany and Korea. All reviews very positive. Kids really enjoyed the time to do some sightseeing, and Nuremberg is a great place to do it. Coming to you live from the castle in Nuremberg, Germany, on day 5 of the Best of Europe Tour. This is where many of the students stayed on the Best of Europe Tour here in Nuremberg. This 500-year-old castle, this fortress with towers and bridges and all the glamour and glory of yesteryear. 500 years ago, this castle was built. It is the signature point of Nuremberg, and our Best of Europe travelers got to enjoy it. Coming to you live from Nuremberg, Germany. This is home of the world famous Christmas market, Christkindl market, as well as a weekly farmers market. Yesterday it was home of thousands of German soccer fans cheering on their national team. In the background you see the Lorenzkirche, a 500-year Gothic cathedral, as well as a fountain that if you touch it will bring you luck. I hope it brings us luck on the 2018 Best of Europe Tour. The downtown charm of Nuremberg, Germany, with the bells ringing. Here's a beautiful view of the St. Sebaldus Kirche in downtown Nuremberg. The St. Sebaldus Kirche is a 500-year Gothic cathedral. Gothic architecture is a fixture here in Nuremberg. The St. Sebaldus Kirche in downtown Nuremberg. Here we are on the Best of Europe Tour 2018 in Diana Restaurant here in Munich, downtown Munich, in Karlsplatz on the 6th floor, enjoying a wonderful German meal. We just got Mary Forbes' luggage. We're feeling pretty good about life, and we're about to go on an awesome excursion through Munich. Nicely done. Here we are in Karlsplatz as we enter into Stachus, this wonderful Gothic gate into the main center of Munich, Germany, and the Marienplatz and the Glockenspiel.
Good. He's got a hood too. I want to talk to him Monday.
This is a Fußgängerzone, a pedestrian walkway. And here we have Richard and Jen. We have the Schuler family. We have the Isleys. Yes, on the Best of Europe tour. Here we are in the St. Michael Church in downtown Munich. Here we are in the Frauenkirche in downtown Munich. The Frauenkirche is world famous for its 2 church steeples. It is a signature building of Munich. And its stained glass windows are beautiful. And back is the organ back there. And it has a wonderful history. And apparently, the devil, when he couldn't have his way, stamped his foot in the back of the Frauenkirche. And that footprint is here today. And it's said that if your shoe fits the footprint, you better get yourself to church really quickly. And here we are coming up to the footprint. As you can see, Joe's foot fits really well.
Perfectly.
Perfectly. He better get to church. And there's the footprint. Let's see how Herr Moyer's foot fits in. Ooh,
Yeah.
I better get myself to church real quick.
There we go again.
Here we are in Mary Square, Marienplatz in downtown Munich, Germany, overlooking the Rathaus and the Glockenspiel. At 3 o'clock, there'll be the playing of the Glockenspiel, something to look forward to on the 2018 Best of Europe Tour. Coming to you live from the Hofbrauhaus restaurant in Munich, Germany on day 9 of the Best of Europe Tour. This is where the 2018 Best of Europe travelers are enjoying a wonderful dinner with live music. Live music at the Hofbrauhaus in Munich, Germany. Welcome to the Hofbrauhaus in Munich, Germany. This is where the Best of Europe Tour 2018 enjoyed a wonderful dinner and live music. Let's check it out. Coming to you live from the Munich Hofbrauhaus restaurant on the 2018 Best of Europe Tour. These are where the 2018 Best of Europe travelers enjoyed a wonderful meal at the Hofbrauhaus. Sehr gut. Ja, de Wasser kommt. Wunderbar. Coming to you live from the Hofbrauhaus in Munich, Germany. Guten Abend, Luke Zoll. Wie geht's? Sehr gut. Aiden, wie geht's? Wunderbar. And Jerry, wie geht's? Sehr gut.
Hey, do you want some?
That's a big beer.
Coming to you live from the Munich Styles Imbiss Ostmesse Hotel in Munich, Germany. This is one of the beautiful rooms that we got to stay overnight in Munich on the 2018 Best of Europe Tour. Welcome to the Olympic Park in Munich, Germany.
It was clean. I was like, here, you can use my room. Can you go to my room? Okay, sorry. This room is about.
Here we are in the 2018 Best of Europe Tour at Hotel Alta Post in Oberammergau, Germany, enjoying a wonderful traditional Bavarian dinner. Coming to you live from Oberammergau, Germany, in the heart of Bavaria. Oberammergau, Germany has a wonderful history dating back to the 1500s, when a typhoid-like disease nearly wiped out the entire population of Oberammergau. The citizens of Oberammergau had a choice: accept defeat or ask God for help. They chose to ask God for help through their prayers. God answered their prayers, and soon Oberammergau began to thrive. The citizens of Oberammergau honored their commitment to God by every 10 years celebrating the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ through the Passion Play. The Passion Play is today the second largest festival in Germany, only second to the Oktoberfest. Our Best of Europe travelers got to enjoy Oberammergau with a delicious meal and an overnight right here at Hotel Alta Post. As we continue our journey to Füssen and Neuschwanstein Castle on the 2018 Best of Europe Tour. Here we are at Hotel Alta Post enjoying a wonderful breakfast. Good morning, Gwen.
Good morning to you.
And we're gonna see some delicious treats to enjoy for breakfast. Rolls, cheeses, cold cuts, maybe even some yogurt if we're lucky.
Found it.
Found it. We got some cereals and teas and coffee. We even have sausages and eggs. Here we are on Marienbrücke, Mary's Bridge, overlooking Neuschwanstein Castle, built by King Ludwig of Bavaria in the 1880s. Neuschwanstein Castle means New Swanstone Castle. This is Hohenschwangau Castle, where Mad King Ludwig grew up as a child. There's Neuschwanstein Castle, built by Mad King Ludwig on the left, and on the right, Hohenschwangau Castle, where Mad King Ludwig grew up as a boy. Surprisingly, Neuschwanstein Castle was built in the 1880s, so while we were having our civil war in our country, they were building beautiful castles in Germany.
They should wake up Anthony.
Here we are at the Ritterstube restaurant in downtown Füssen. This is where our Best of Europe travelers are getting a wonderful lunch. That's Steve Bowling talking to his dad. Let's see what's going on at the Ritterstube. Our Best of Europe travelers just got to see Neuschwanstein Castle. Now they're enjoying a delicious meal at the Ritterstube. The Ritterstube restaurant is known for their delicious food down here in Füssen. Here come the Best of Europe travelers on the 2018 Best of Europe tour. There's Logan. There we go, Joe. There we go, Jeffrey. Here we go, Eric. Woo! There's Dwayne. Gotta love it. Nothing better. Beautiful day, beautiful Alps, cows, and the Rotobahn. Here we go. There's Joe. Nice. Here comes Jen. Hey, Jen. Nice. There they come, the Best of Europe travelers on the Rotobahn. Woo!
Hello.
Hey, everybody. Good job. Way to go. Here's these Best of Europe travelers coming through! Woo! There's Christiana. Yeah!
Get going.
Here we go, Linda, on the Best of Europe tour! Woo! Here comes Joe on the Rotobahn! Woo! Here comes Donna Wolf! Woo! Here comes Steve Bowling! Way to go, Steve! Woo! Here comes Asia! There goes Asia! There's Megan! Woo!
Yo, Jack.
Here comes Jerry! Yay, Jerry! Fantastic! There's Rick! Way to go, Rick! Way to go, Helena! Yeah! Woo! There's Sydney! Way to go, Sydney! Woo! There's Dan Schuler. Hey, Dan! Uh-oh! There comes Allison! Hey, Michael. There they are. Hey, Peyton. Way to go, Tyler! Here comes Kylie around the corner. Hey, Kylie! Woo! Here comes some more Best of Europe travelers on the Rotobahn. Woo! Here comes Josh around the corner. Woo! Good. Here come the Best of Europe Travelers 2018. Woo! Way to go, girls! Woo! There goes Lorna. Today we're riding the Rotobahn. Here we go! Everyone was looking for a crash. Sorry I couldn't deliver on that one. Thank God, right? Yeah. This is Dutch Moyer coming to you live from the 2018 Best of Europe Tour. Here we are at the Windbeutel Baron Restaurant in Berchtesgaden, Germany, enjoying these giant cream puffs, and also Tyler Fair walking across my video. It's totally fine because I'm a professional and I know what I'm doing. We had a wonderful time today at Neuschwanstein Castle. And right now, we're at the top of the Alps in Berchtesgaden, Germany. That is the Windbeutel Baron's dessert of the year, the giant Berliner cream puff. Coming to you live from Bischofsweisen, Deutschland, Bischofsweisen, Germany, and the Brennerbosch Hotel. This is where the Best of Europe travelers stayed overnight and had an enjoyable time in the Berchtesgaden region of Germany. In addition to the Bischofsweisen Brennerbosch Hotel, they have a beautiful beer garden here. This is what a traditional German beer garden looks like here in the Gastgarten. Beautiful trees, lovely setting in the evening to enjoy. Here we are in Emmersdorf, Austria, overlooking the Melk Cathedral in Melk, Austria. The Best of Europe travelers are staying at the Land Hotel Wachau. Coming to you live from Emmersdorf as these Best of Europe travelers get ready to go on a hike. This is the Land Hotel Wachau, where we had a wonderful dinner and staying overnight for 2 nights. That is total genius. That is Josh. He knows what's up.
Whenever Faith and I are like driving, we always do. Actually, Donna,
The Melk Cathedral on the Donau River. Here we are at the Land Hotel Wachau in Emmersdorf, Austria, enjoying our morning breakfast.
And then but actually tomorrow they do a flight out and then we want your bread.
Wonderful breads and rolls and jams and jelly, cheeses and cold cuts. And on the other side, pound cake and juices and yogurt. Here we are in Spitz, Austria, on day 7 of the Best of Europe tour, enjoying a Danube River cruise from Spitz to Krems on the Donau River. Coming to you live from Spitz, Austria, on the 2018 Best of Europe tour. Here we are on the Danube River cruise. Look at these happy campers over here.
This is a lot of fun. I just hope I don't lose my glasses on this tour. I'm not diving in this water. Moyer coming to you live on the 2018 Best of Europe Tour and our Best of Europe Tour singers!
Here we are coming up to Dürnstein on the Danube River. Dürnstein has that beautiful blue church.
Wait, is this where we're ending?
No.
What, already?
I was about to say.
Here we are coming to the town of Krems, Austria on the Danube River cruise. Salzburg Fortress. Here we are at the Getreidegase in downtown Salzburg, Austria. The Getreidegase is a primary shopping street in Salzburg. Here we are at the Barenwirt restaurant in downtown Salzburg. This is where the Best of Europe travelers had their lunch.
After today, imagine beer would be about right for him. You guys don't watch. You're joining us in Italy. We're going to Italy. So the catch is that you're ready.
How would you put it the road is so narrow? Like, how can this be?
Hallo!
Hello!
Willkommen in Salzburg!
Here we are at Daghofer's Bar and Grill enjoying a nice meal of ribs, potato fries, coleslaw, and coconut milk deep fried with caramel. Yum. Sehr lecker. Deep fried coconut milk
He has two younger sisters too.
in caramel sauce right here at Daghofer's restaurant in Salzburg, Austria.
He has one for God.
One. Luke Zoll, where are you today?
The salt mines of Align, Austria.
Sehr gut. Coming to you live from the Celtic village here in Hallein, Austria. This is where the original Celtic tribe got its start, in Austria. And then they migrated for safety reasons to what is now modern day Ireland. But this is what the original Celts, the original tribe of the Irish, got their start. Coming to you live from Salzwelten, Hallein, the salt mines of Hallein, Austria. Look at these beautiful people wearing their miner's gear as we get ready to explore the beautiful salt mines of Hallein, Austria.
Look, then there's like a boat cruise, but then everyone starts to slide down the slide.
Glück auf basically has two meanings. It means good fortune for finding whatever resources you're looking for in the mine, as well as good fortune for getting back out of the mine safely and in one piece, of course. Okay, and I would say let's try it all together now one time, okay? Glück auf!
Glück auf!
Ah, beautiful. Yeah, together we're going to walk for about 1 kilometer through our mine in the next hour. Right here we are already 700 meters deep inside the Obersteinbergstollen, that's the name of this gallery, and about 120 meters below daylight. Yeah, here at Dürnberg, since the year 1989, there is no more salt mines due to economical reasons. However, this is still the biggest exhibition mine of Austria and the oldest exhibition mine of all Europe. Already back in the 17th century, the first visitors were guided through our mine. Yeah, now we're going to watch the first part of our movie, where you will see how the salt got into the mountain. And we will also meet Prince Archbishop Wolf Dietrich von Reithenau.
But around 250 million years ago, our Earth changed. Entire continents shifted and sealed off oceanic basins. Heat caused the water trapped there to evaporate. What remained were enormous quantities of salt. 150 million years later, they were set in motion together with other layers of Earth. Gigantic layers of stone and salt shifted and twisted themselves together, then settled on top of one another. The Alps were created, and with them, the gigantic salt deposits here at the Dürnberg. The Celts discovered this treasure around 500 BC. For them, salt was very important. It enabled them to conserve their food. Using simple wooden and bronze tools, they dug tunnels as deep as 300 meters. With great effort, they hauled the heavy rock salt out of the mountain. Up in the Celtic village, one can still see today how they used to live. Today, salt is no longer mined by hand, but with pressurized water and high-tech equipment. In a modern salt works, like the one in Ebensee, up to 800,000 tons of salt are mined each year, enough to fill a 320-kilometer-long freight train, stretching from Salzburg all the way to Vienna. Today, we need salt for food, as well as many industrial processes. For example, in the production of plastic, glass, and aluminium, or in the manufacture of computers. But let's go back to the year 1601. At that time, the salt from the Dürnberg made all of Salzburg wealthy, in particular, the prince who ruled the city.
Singulo fidei, et virtute castitatis, lumbos meos, et extinguinis.
Good Lord! What sort of nonsense is he up to? Doesn't he know who I am?
No, but of course, your grace is our most sovereign royal highness, the Prince Archbishop.
And what else? And? Prince Archbishop Wolf Dietrich von Reichenau, ruler of Salzburg and worldly and ecclesiastical lord of the salt mining in Nuremberg.
Quite right, Your Eminence.
Impone Domine Galliam salutis in capite meo ad expugna.
Herrschaft with grief. Who might this man be?
Who?
Him.
Jacobus Jacob von Nuremberg, Your Eminence.
Von Nuremberg? Well,
Na, da hat
he's certainly lucky.
Seine Leid.
His fellow villagers and the salt that comes from Nuremberg are the source of our livelihood.
Den Nürnbergern habe ich
In fact, I've just donated a church to the people of Nuremberg.
Virtute manibus meis ad abstegendam omnem maculam immundam Trottel.
Fool!
Seine Leid haben
The other villagers are much more clever.
wahrscheinlich
And probably work harder.
seit 5 Jahren.
For 5 years now, the miners in Nuremberg have been digging my tunnel.
Es wird noch ein paar
And in a few years, the Wolf-Dietrich-Storm will be the deepest and richest tunnel in the entire mountain.
im ganzen Berg sein. Und eines
And one day,
mit Hilfe des
with God's help,
werden die Menschen
people will come from around the world to journey deep down inside the mountain and be amazed at the wonders that Wolf Dietrich von Reichenau worked with salt.
vollbracht hat.
There they go. Nice. Nice. Here's the best of Europe travelers trying salt brine.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Wow.
Coming to you live from the Salzwelten Hallein, the salt mines of Hallein, Austria. The 2018 Best of Europe travelers enjoyed a fun excursion to the salt mines, which was the primary source of wealth for the people of Munich and Salzburg, who used the salt to preserve meat and other foods. Coming to you live from the Alps in Salzburg, Austria. Today, the Best of Europe travelers enjoyed a wonderful time in the salt mines of Hallein.
Yeah, you got this.
Coming to you live from Cafe Perukel in downtown Vienna. This is where the 2018 Best of Europe travelers had a wonderful lunch. Here we are at Cafe Perukel in downtown Vienna. This is where the Best of Europe travelers came. The Viennese cafes are world famous for their coffee, their Zuckertorte, their Apfelstrudel.
Aber auch der Abgang dafür.
Here's our Best of Europe travelers enjoying a nice meal. Hey Megan, hey Joe, awesome.
So it was an old manufacturing town, and I think it went, downhill for quite a while. But when it started,
Hey Joe, what did we get to see today in Vienna?
We totally went around and we actually saw the outside of the museum.
Yeah.
Then we went to the gardens.
That's
Then
fantastic.
At some point, I think some people got some doner kebab.
Wonderful.
And we also crossed some streets.
How's the weather today in Vienna?
Gorgeous. We also went to the opera house.
How would you say beautiful in German, Lorna? Sehr schön. Sehr schön.
Sehr schön. I now have learned what
Jetzt haben wir die 55 Uhr, soll ich jetzt nehmen?
Ice cream, right? So Megan gets the ice cream, grabs it, and goes.
Here we are overlooking St. Stephen's Dome in downtown Vienna, Austria. There's a symbol of the Habsburg eagle. Kärntnerstraße, downtown Vienna, the primary shopping street with cafes and shops. Here we are at the Opera House in downtown Vienna. Here is a pink rabbit bringing us luck on the 2018 Best of Europe tour in Vienna, Austria. The church bells of St. Stephen's Dome ringing at 12 noon in Vienna, Austria. This is the Franz Josef Monument, built in 1869. Franz Josef was a leader, the Kaiser, the king of Austria and the Habsburg Empire. Here we are at the Austrian National Library in downtown Vienna. Here we are at the Hofburg. This is the residence of the Habsburg Empire here in Vienna, Austria. Here's a continuation of the Hofburg Palace. This is where the Habsburg residence was. This is a continuation of the Hofgarten and the Hofburg, which was the residence of the Habsburgs, going back 650 years ago. Coming to you live from Schönbrunn Palace in Vienna, Austria, home of the Habsburg Empire. This is where the Habsburgs stayed during their summer months in Vienna. Here we are in the garden area of Schönbrunn Palace in Vienna, Austria. Coming to you live from Schönbrunn Palace in Vienna, Austria, the summer home of the Habsburg Empire. Coming to you live from Schönbrunn Palace in Vienna, Austria, home of the Habsburg Empire. This is where the Habsburg royal family of Austria stayed during the summertime. It comes with beautiful flower gardens and even a zoo. This is Dutch Moyer coming to you live from Schönbrunn Palace in Vienna, Austria, home of the Habsburg Empire. This is where the Habsburgs came during the summertime to enjoy the summer gardens and even a zoo. All this on the 2018 Best of Europe Tour. Thank you. Schönbrunn Palace, summer home of the Habsburg Empire in Vienna, Austria. Here's the Best of Europe travelers at the Prater Amusement Park in Vienna, Austria. Sehr schön. How was it, everybody? Good? Awesome. I love it.
Look what you can do.
Hey! Hey, guys!
This is scary.
Hey! Yeah! Woo! Hey, guys! Hey, Jeffrey! Coming to you live from the Prater in Vienna, Austria on day 9 of the Best of Europe Tour. Downtown Vienna. Coming to you live from the Prater Amusement Park in Vienna, Austria on the 2018 Best of Europe Tour. Today,
our 2018 Best of Europe travelers enjoyed a fun ride on the Ferris wheel. Anthony, how was it?
Great.
Awesome! That's Anthony Washington on the 2018 Best of Europe Tour. Woo! Here we are coming to you live from Zurich, Switzerland as we pick up Jen and do some bank exchanging. Lake Lungen in Switzerland. On the way to Steckelberg and our hotel in Mürren.
Here is the name of lake. See?
Yeah.
Moyer.
Coming to you live on the Best of Europe Tour 2018 from Lungen Lake on the way to Mürren, Switzerland. Hey Eric.
Guys, we need to count on.
Here's the Best of Europe travelers enjoying the Steckelberg gondola all the way to the top to Mürren.
How are you?
Coming to you live from Sport Chalet Mürren in Mürren, Switzerland on top of the Alps on day 11 of the Best of Europe Tour. Today, the Best of Europe travelers will be doing some hiking through the Alps looking for Edelweiss, as well as swimming in the sports club. They have a wonderful sports club here in Mürren that the kids have access to. They can also play tennis and go shopping down below in Interlaken, Switzerland. Coming to you live from the Sport Chalet Mürren in Mürren, Switzerland on day 10 of the Best of Europe Tour. This is the view from our windows here at the Sport Chalet Mürren.
The crowds keep it down, please.
Where's Mary? I just saw Mary go down this way.
Coming to you live from Mürren Sport Chalet. Here are the Best of Europe travelers enjoying a delicious meal of fondue and raclette. Raclette is cheesy potatoes and fondue with cheese in the bread.
hot.
Yeah, not bananas, marshmallows, strawberries.
Pass the salt, guys. Right there.
It's cool. It's all for that.
Right there. Here, go sit over there.
Well, they are the
How's it taste, Aiden? Pretty good? Sehr gut?
You have to videotape us while eating.
Here is raclette, cheesy potatoes, here at the Sport Chalet Murin. Hey Jeffrey, hey Logan, what are we having for dessert? Ice cream, ice baby.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about taking out like a triangle.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, you stand in the door, she's trying to take pictures.
Hey Eric, what's the word for tasty in German?
Tasty.
That's es schmeckt or it's lecker, sehr gut.
These guys just got me itching my nose.
I can't get ice cream out of bottle.
I don't even know what any of this is, though.
It's ice and ice cream. It's literally just ice cream ice.
Homemade ice cream for dessert at the Sport Chalet Murin. Beautiful alpine views from Murin, Switzerland. Coming to you live from the Alpine Kur Sportzentrum here in Murin, Switzerland. This is where you can go swimming. You can play indoor soccer and outdoor soccer. They also have a spa and hot tubs.
I like this.
Downtown Murin, Switzerland. And the sunrise. Our Best of Europe travelers overlooking the Murin, Switzerland Alps.
There's one of our best of Europe travelers parasailing down the Alps.
You can take a picture of me sailing into the
Oh, here comes the tram up.
There's a gondola that took us up here to Murin from Steckelberg. The village of Murin, Switzerland. This is where the best of Europe travelers stayed.
another power cell tip.
Yeah. He can't do my Christmas bells to get out. Oh, that's what we used to It's too heavy.
Cows grazing in Murin, Switzerland.
It's too heavy for the rain.
We hung it on a strip.
Yeah, it's just
And he just hits it with his nose. Yeah, it's got 4 bells on it. That,
Yeah.
That thing, they're like
I have
this
big
big.
ones.
Yeah. And Ted hits it
It's
with
hard
his head.
for him. So I'm thinking, get a big cow.
Yeah. I was like,
And
I'm sure I snored.
Your daughter would probably be, Arwen?
Best of Europe travelers heading
And
to
then we got,
Gimmelwald.
Joe would probably be, he'd probably be the human king. And then the Zoll brothers, one would be the dwarf and the other one would be the other brother. I think he'd be the dwarf and he'd be the other brother. Good job,
Here we are at the Sports Chalet Murin, where the best of Europe travelers are enjoying a wonderful lunch of basil flour soup and noodles with Swiss cheese, applesauce, on the way to the Schildhorn, the highest mountain peak of the Swiss Alps. After climbing 3,000 feet in the Swiss Alps, there's nothing better than some alpine water. Lecker. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
We're at the top of the Swiss Alps, hunting for some alpine snow and fresh water.
That's awesome. And there's Donna. Woo! Woo! And her.
Find Edelweiss.
Yes. We're on a quest. You can do it. Look at these guys. They're going to do it. There's Logan. Here's Tyler coming up the trail here. Nice job. And Joe down below. Way to go, Tyler. Sehr gut. 15 minutes. Coming to you live from atop the Schildhorn, the highest peak in the Alps, are Jake and Luke Zoll, kings of the world! Woo! 3.
The hills are alive with the sound of success. Ah, I hope I don't cause an avalanche.
All right, we're good. Ready? Recording?
Yeah.
Here we are on the best of, wait, you're the one that does it, not me.
Best of Europe.
Coming to you live from the Schildhorn atop the Swiss Alps are the 2018 Best of Europe Travelers. Luke Zoll, Jake Zoll, we got Joe Claffey, we got Donna Wolf. Who else do we got? Logan Eli and Tyler Refford. Woo! Coming to you live from the Schildhorn, this is Dutch Moyer reporting. Today, several Best of Europe travelers scaled 4,000 feet to the top of the Schildhorn. Jake Zoll, Luke Zoll, Tyler Refford, Logan Eli, Joe Claffey, Donna Wolf, and yours truly, Herr Moyer. On the 2018 Best of Europe Tour. There are Best of Europe travelers enjoying some delicious alpine water. Woo!
I can go home now. I can go home if you have this.
Get some more water, Luke. Looks good. There's Luke Zoll enjoying some delicious alpine water. Lecker. Coming to you live from Switzerland, these beautiful Swiss cows with their cowbells. Beautiful Holstein cows here in Lauterbrunnen, Switzerland. I have a fever, and the only prescription is a little more cowbell. Give me some cowbell, honey. A beautiful church in downtown Lauterbrunnen. Coming to you live from the Swiss Alps on the 2018 Best of Europe Tour. As you can see from this map, the Best of Europe travelers stayed in Mürren there to the right. Some adventurous souls ventured all the way up to the top of the Alps and the Schildhorn. These alpine wonders reach 4,000 feet into the sky. Other Best of Europe travelers traveled by mountain train and funicular to Lauterbrunnen. Above the clouds in the Swiss Alps.
Yeah, what was it? You got
There's Mom and Georgia Chow enjoying a beautiful alpine ride up to Muir in Switzerland. Here is the mountain train that Georgia Chow, Carolyn Moyer, and myself took from Muir in Switzerland to Gulch. Then we took a funicular from Gulch down to Lauterbrunnen, very beautiful village. Here are the Best of Europe travelers at the Sport Chalet Murin enjoying a wonderful dinner of raclette. That is cheese with potatoes.
Yeah, it's regrets. Well, he smells it regrets. I think the other one I couldn't stop laughing at was the free Shabbat. It's a free Shabbat. Annalise, is this your first time eating raclette? Awesome. Awesome. Hey Luke Soul, how's the raclette? Have you tried some? It's great. It's awesome.
Here we go, Luke. Nice. Sehr gut. Here we go. Woo! Sponsored by Subaru. Ah. No eating needed. We'll just grab that last one. Yeah. We did get one good round. Excellent. I think we coming to you live from the monastery here in Monterosso al Mare. This is where the 2018 Best of Europe travelers are staying to enjoy the Italian Riviera. Nice.
But you know what? That's okay.
Coming to you live from the monastery in Monterosso. Here's the view from our monastery here in Monterosso al Mare, overlooking the Italian Riviera. Best of Europe travelers enjoying some gelato ice cream here in Monterosso al Mare. the Mediterranean Sea. Monterosso al Mare. Walking the trail from Monterosso al Mare to Vernazza. Walking the trail from Monterosso al Mare to Vernazza.
Yeah.
Walking from Monterosso al Mare to Vernazza. Hearing the locusts making their sounds here between Monterosso al Mare and Vernazza. The bells ringing in Vernazza. Vernazza. Here we are in downtown Vernazza. You can see the people drying their clothes out the windows. It's one of the 5 Cinque Terre villages. Beautiful sunny day here on the Italian Riviera. Monterosso al Mare and the Italian Riviera.
Here are the Best of Europe travelers of 2018 enjoying a wonderful, authentic Italian lunch at Restaurant Belvedere. Restaurant Belvedere is one of the best restaurants here in Monterosso al Mare with authentic Italian food. The Mediterranean Sea. Monterosso al Mare, the Italian Riviera. Begin.
Coming to you live in Monterosso, Italy.
Nice. Coming to you live from Vernazza. Another Cinque Terre village on the Italian Riviera. Hey Tyler.
We all jumped off that out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, Luke, Jake, Tyler, Logan, Jen, Donna, everybody. Yeah. Fantastic. Catching fish here in Vernazza, Italy. That's amazing. Coming to you live from Vernazza, Italy on the Cinque Terre Italian Riviera are Tyler Refford, Logan Ely, Jake Zoll, and Luke Zoll on 3. 1, 2, 3. There goes Luke. Way to go, Luke. Good to know you, Luke. Luke Zoll was one of my great German 1 students and German 2. Had 100% all the way through. Vernazza, Italy, on the Cinque Terre Italian Riviera. Coming to you live from Vernazza on the Cinque Terre Italian Riviera and the 2018 Best of Europe Tour. Coming to you live from Monterosso al Mare and the Italian Riviera on the Best of Europe Tour 2018. The chiming church bells of Monterosso al Mare. And Jerry Reiner. The bells are chiming at the Monterosso al Mare Monastery. The bells are chiming at the monastery at Monterosso al Mare. And the Italian Riviera. There's Joe, Gwen, Tom, and some of our other Best of Europe travelers enjoying a wonderful view from the monastery in Monterosso al Mare. Here's our Best of Europe travelers at the monastery in Monterosso al Mare. Really great people, delicious, authentic Italian food. Good to see you, Joe. Beautiful sunset here at Monterosso al Mare on the Italian Riviera. Coming to you live from the monastery in Monterosso al Mare in the Cinque Terre Italian Riviera. This is where the Best of Europe travelers stayed for 3 nights and had wonderful, authentic Italian dishes. And look at the view.
This is a dining room facility of the monastery in Monterosso al Mare. These are where the Best of Europe travelers had a wonderful 3-night stay with meals. Here we are at the Monterosso al Mare Cinque Terre train station. We're going to Rigomorio today. There are Jerry and Mom, looking forward to a fun day. Our last day in Italy before heading back to Munich. Here we are on the train from Monterosso to Rigomorio. With Jerry and Mom. In Rigomorio, you can see some of the hanging clothing drying. As well as the shops and the stores. Rigomorio. With super athlete Jerry Reinert. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
This is Jerry Reinert from Rigomorio in the Italian Riviera on the Best of Europe Tour 2018.
Woo! There's Carolyn Moyer in Rigomorio in the Italian Riviera. Beautiful, beautiful little village. Coming to you live from Rigomorio, one of the 5 Cinque Terre Italian Riviera villages. Here you can do snorkeling, paddle boating, kayaking, swimming. Lots of fun here in the sun on the Italian Riviera. Coming to you live from Rigomorio, one of the 5 Cinque Terre Italian Riviera villages. Beautiful pastel buildings with a beautiful blue sky, all on the 2018 Best of Europe Tour. The chicken dance in Rigomorio, Italian Riviera. Coming to you live from Manarola, one of the 5 Cinque Terre villages on the Italian Riviera. Coming to you live from Manarola in the Italian Riviera. Manarola is one of the 5 Cinque Terre villages here on the Italian Riviera coast. You can do boating and snorkeling and sunbathing. Or in our case, we're gonna get a delicious, authentic Italian meal. Manarola. Coming to you live from the Trattoria La Scrogia Cucina Tipica here in Manarola. This is where Mom, Jerry Reinert, and myself had a delicious, authentic Italian lunch. Beautiful restaurant. Today we ordered a margarita pizza as well as spaghetti with seafood. Here's Mom and Jerry. Hey guys. Okay. Here we have spaghetti with octopus here in Manarola, Italy. There's Jerry Reinert having an authentic Italian pizza here in Manarola, Italy. How's it taste, Jerry?
Really good.
That's awesome. Sehr gut. Mom, Jerry, and myself enjoyed some tiramisu dessert here in Manarola at a local pizzeria. Here's Mom exploring the streets of Manarola, one of the 5 villages in the Cinque Terre. Manarola, Italy. Beautiful vineyards here in Manarola. Manarola, Italy. Manarola, Italy. Here we are from Cornigula. Cornigula is one of the 5 Cinque Terre villages here on the Italian Riviera. Beautiful vineyards, cacti, palm trees, beautiful tropical weather here in the Cinque Terre. Here we are in a beautiful Cornigula supermarket where you can get delicious fresh produce and snacks. Wonderful cherries and tomatoes.
Qualunque cosa tu prenda, a prescindere.
There's Jerry Reinert in front of the Bistro Margarita, enjoying some well-deserved water break and delicious fresh fruit. We have grapes and cherries, all grown here in the Cinque Terre region of Cornigula. Here we are exploring Cornigula, one of the 5 villages of the Cinque Terre Italian Riviera. Cornigula. Coming to you live from downtown Cornigula. This is Main Street. filled with shops and bars and wonderful waitresses. Ciao.
Ciao.
Here it comes, lady.
C'était super beau.
And there's Carolyn Moyer. Who would guess we would meet her here in Cornigula, one of the 5 villages of the Italian Riviera? Coming to you live from the Di Santa Caterina del Ruto here in Cornigula. Cornigula. One of the 5 Cinque Terre Italian Riviera villages. And here's Mom and Jerry Reiner getting ready to take the bus from Cornigula down to the Cornigula train station. Bistro Margarita is where Jerry and I had some delicious fresh fruit as well as water and Coke Zero. Italian police officer. Monterosso al Mare on the Cinque Terre Italian Riviera. Beautiful sandy beaches. Beautiful clear waters for swimming and snorkeling at Monterosso al Mare and the Italian Riviera of the Cinque Terre. Here are our Best of Europe travelers on their last night here in Monterosso al Mare in the monastery. Hey, Joe. A great group. Nice. What's up, Eric? This is Doug Moyer coming to you live from the 2018 Best of Europe Tour in Cornigula. Cornigula is one of the 5 villages of the Cinque Terre on the Italian Riviera. On the 2018 Best of Europe Tour, we visited Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and Italy. I want to give special thanks to our 2018 Best of Europe chaperones, Steve Bowling and Joe Claffey. Also, special thanks to the parents and the kids that helped make the 2018 Best of Europe Tour the best one ever. Thank you. Macht's gut.